Welcome to the Shrewdness. We are so excited about this baseball-focused endeavor. As teased in prior episodes, we are doing 15 to 20-minute primers for each MLB team to prepare you for this 2025 season, to help you with your fantasy baseball drafts and future bets, or simply to improve your knowledge as the season begins. From the projected starters to the prospects, we will touch it all and give our shrewd takes on the key to their success. So sit back, take some notes, and enjoy the show. Hey, Shrewdness, welcome back. So we have been saving some of our kind of more popular ones we know you've been waiting on, but frankly, everyone's been talking about the damn Dodgers so much, we figured we'd just make you wait for the Shrewdness takes, because good Lord, is this a ridiculous, like when we make up teams on your video games and then you like make them the best, and then you trade and screw all the other non-player characters in the fake commissioner world, you end up with a team like this, except this is the real world. So Pruitt is going to take us through this just ridiculous cache of riches that the Dodgers have compiled. And really, it's just everyone's playing for second in the National League is how I look at this, which is why we kind of saved them for the end. And when we go through it, I think you will see that that is exactly what happened here in LA. So, Prue, without further ado, talk to us about this 2025 Los Angeles Dodgers team.
Wow, this was a fun team to go through.
If it's your team.
Right?
Yeah, as long as you don't have to play them, I guess.
Yeah.
No, they're ridiculous. Last year they won, where'd they end up? 98 wins.
Which was
actually a little less.
Underachieving.
That was disappointing.
Yeah.
Right?
Having the
Only
top
98
record in
wins.
baseball.
Terrible. So 98 wins. They obviously won the World Series last year, beat the Yankees 4-1, finished first in the NL West. No surprises, really.
No.
This year, they are actually projected to win more games. So, Fangraphs has them winning 96. Dakota has them winning 103.
Oh, my gosh.
And Vegas thinks they can win 104.5. That's where the over-under is set. That is an impressive season if they can pull it off. And once I go through this, you might think, wow, they might just do that.
I think there's I don't know what the bet was. I looked it up a few weeks ago just to see, but to get the wins record was not ridiculous. It's not a minus number. It's still a plus because it's the all-time wins record. I think it's 117 or something, right? And the odds weren't even that good. Like you would expect it to be like, well, to get the most all-time in the history of baseball, that's got to be some long odds. Right. I don't recall it being that long. So I'm curious to see what it ends up settling in at the beginning, but 117, realistic.
We saw a historically bad season from the White Sox last year, so maybe we'll see some magic from the Dodgers this year.
For all the Superman fans, the Dodgers are the bizarro White Sox.
Yes, they are.
This is like an insanely talented group. I was wondering what the odds are. I mean, they're obviously the favorites to repeat, and we haven't had. The last time we had a repeat MLB champion. Is it the
Yankees?
I think it's the longest drought of any of the professional sports, so I'm not wrong.
So late 90s Yankees?
Yeah, 98, 99, 2000 repeat for the Yankees, and that was the last time we had a repeat champion in the majors. So it's been 25 years since we had a repeat champion. Think about NFL, we've had it a few times. NBA's definitely had it. I even think hockey's had it. I could be wrong in hockey, but I think it has since then. So this could be first repeat in MLB in a long time. And honestly, if it's not, it's going to be disappointing.
A little surprising, yeah.
Right.
So along with their stellar team is a stellar payroll.
Yeah.
Last year's payroll was $324 million. They have upped the ante this year to $389 million.
Yeah.
So
hey, we won last year. Let's add $64 million.
We just can't compete with this peanuts of a salary. Oh
Right?
my gosh.
Brutal.
Well, and it's also fake, right? And I know you probably hit on that, but is Ohtani getting like a bag of Lay's potato chips this season? Because it's all deferred to get like
Totally.
$1 billion per year, like in the next.
Right.
He's got a Bobby Bonilla deal that makes Bobby Bonilla blush. Like, oh,
Yeah, because
that was a really good one.
Right? If you counted Ohtani's real salary in here,
Yes, it'd be
it's
ridiculous.
over $400 million. Easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know it's not that, but it still is. It's like an asterisk.
Oh,
too.
it is. It's pay me $1 for the next 10 years, and then I'll take billions after that. Like it's
once I get out of California's tax rate.
Which is for those of you who don't know and don't know the Ohtani deal, it's 100% to proof him from California taxes. So, state of California can't be too pleased, but he is working the system.
Yep.
When your annual salary is $70 million, taxes become a big deal to you. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely. Like starve. So
right. Yeah.
Well, anyway, speaking of Mr. Ohtani, he's going to lead off the lineup for the Dodgers again this year. 3-time MVP, almost 4 in a row. He finished second the one year he didn't win the MVP the last 4 years.
And that was the Aaron Judge who had to go Triple Crown to beat him. Like,
4-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger. He was the Rookie of the Year. He scored 134 runs last year, along with his 54 homers, 130 RBI.
So he went 130 runs, 130 RBIs.
And he was 54, 50-50 homers, stolen bases, which is obviously never been done.
OPS over 1, and like 1036, 390 OBP, which is a little, I guess, maybe not as impressive as you might have guessed. Still almost 40% of the time getting on base, but
it's like Barry Bonds back in the day, except he could steal and pitch.
Yeah. And probably a better arm in the outfield. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway. I think he's probably throwing it in 100.
Right.
So that's the maybe the cherry on top. We're going to start with that and then work our way down the ice cream sundae here.
Let me just say, screw you. Just screw you, Dodgers. Like, are you serious? Like, you have this guy. This is the only guy you should get. Period.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get anybody else if you get this guy. This is a generational talent. Like,
well, so another odd finding here is, like I mentioned, Ohtani is signed up for 10 years, $70 million per year.
That's just stupid.
Probably a deal.
The Florida Marlins total payroll, $70 million.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's like, and we tried to get Ohtani. We were going to give him all of it. And that would have been a fair deal.
One Ohtani?
Or the entire
Florida
Marlins.
Yeah.
One Florida Marlins.
And Ohtani's just holding up his trophies and his World Series rings. Like, I couldn't do it in Los Angeles Angels. But, man, you put me with, like, a team of real people. I'm really good.
So, anyway, tremendous, leadoff guy. Tremendous just athlete. Number 1 overall fantasy pick. You'd have to be seriously deranged to take him. Yeah, pick anybody but him. That's with the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Following close behind him.
If you listen to Strato, or if you listen to the Shrewdness, you know we like Strato, and I really want to see his Strato card.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, I'm
Lewis
going to pull it
could
out while we're
still
doing
find the strikeout on it, though.
I'm gonna.
You find the 1-7 strikeout 1.
You would absolutely find it.
If you can find it, we'll share it here in a minute on the.
I will. I'll keep going.
How well it'll come through on the video, but I'll try it anyway.
All right, so I guess after that slug, who's next in the lineup?
Yeah, so a minor fall to number 2 here, Mookie Betts, who is a 9-time MVP ballot candidate. He actually won it in 18, 8-time All-Star, 6-time Gold Glove, 7-time Silver Slugger.
You don't get 2 of these guys. What's going on?
That's so stupid.
372 on base last year, 4.8 WAR. I forgot to mention Ohtani's WAR last year was 9.2.
That's insane.
Which is just ridiculous. Mookie Betts follows with a very impressive 4.8.
And that was
Shortstop this year.
So that 9.2, I want to do one more thing on it. He didn't do anything but DH. That's all offense.
Good point.
And the thing is, just
There's
imagine
no
if he would
D.
have pitched a little bit, or I don't know, he's still a Gold Glove caliber like outfielder if they want him to be, or I don't know, he could be a Gold Glove caliber first base if they put him there.
Right.
They didn't even need him, and he's still got a 9.2 WAR.
Just hit your way to a 9.2. So Betts is playing shortstop this year. He's played all over, but they've got him penciled in as their shortstop. 4.8 WAR in the number 2 hole. Third in the lineup, Freddie Freeman, another perennial all-star, 10-time MVP candidate. He won it in 2020. 3-time Silver Slugger, which I was a little surprised. I thought he had more than that, but only 3 times, and only 1 Gold Glove, which is still impressive.
Yeah, I feel like he's in the top 3 every year, though.
Yeah, for sure. And then I noted
and they make fun of him in the clubhouse. They're like, "You suck."
Yeah.
Where's your hardware, dude?
You're the worst of us. 8-time All-Star slug.
Last year, Freddie Freeman scored 131 runs and did not win because Ohtani scored 134.
That's
and they were
insane.
teammates. That's a lot of runs from the top of your order.
You think the Braves are maybe regretting letting this guy go, maybe? Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, when we do the Atlanta preview coming up, they have Matt Olson, who, I mean, last year wasn't his best year, and we'll go into that in the Atlanta one, but the 2 years ago in 23, he had 54 homers, 138 RBIs, so Atlanta's not doing terrible at first base either. But yeah, Freeman, man. Freddie is a freak of nature. I love Freddie. And then, obviously, from the World Series last year, was it the playoffs? Just the World Series? He hit a home run every game, right? He just kept wrapping home runs.
Yeah,
I feel like he hit so many. All I remember is Freddie Freeman, the bet to hit a home run kept going down because Vegas was like, stop it. Of course he's going to hit a home run. And he kept doing it. Right. I think he hit it 4 straight games. And it may have been 5. I think he got one every single game, but I might be wrong. I know he hit a ton, though. And that was after, do you remember?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like the last game of the season, he almost broke his ankle going to first base, trying to beat something out. He wasn't even going to play in the playoffs, and then he just kind of taped it up and put some dirt on it and showed up and showed out the whole playoffs.
It
was unbelievable.
To hit home runs in every game.
Yeah. It was a ridiculous performance. I love Freddie Freeman. He's one of my favorite players to watch, period. And that kind of epic postseason, one more thing to put on there. Like, I am just amazing. I don't even need 2 feet. I mean, that was why they had the whole Kirk Gibson comparison last year when he did it.
Oh, that's right.
Because he's all hobbled and just broke-ass ankles showing up there. Like, it's easy when you just hit it over the fence.
Yeah. He's just a good dude, too. There's all kinds of clips out there on Instagram or YouTube or wherever of him joking around with other players and just he loves to play the game.
Super likable.
Yeah, very likable in the clubhouse and even opposing fans and players love him too.
So they have 5 MVPs out of their first 3 players. What's left?
Yeah.
So then you go to their cleanup hitter, who's
he
another
probably
stud.
sucks at least.
Yeah.
Oscar Hernandez, only a 2-time All-Star, 3-time Silver Slugger, 3-time he's been on the MVP ballot. He's never won, but tipped in a measly 99 RBIs last year and 33 homers.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So their lowest WAR guy so far is 4.3.
Quick math, out of those first 4 spots, 23 WAR from 4 dudes.
That's okay.
That's all right.
I mean,
and they still only won 98? What the heck?
And that's why they suck.
Well, I mean, seriously. I'm just waiting. So they're just missing Mike Trout so far.
I know. When's he showing up?
When is Trout going across town?
The trade deadline, they're going to get Trout.
Like, stop screwing Trout. He doesn't even have to move houses. Just stay there and just play here.
Let him win one.
Then we can add 3 or 4 more MVPs to this lineup.
I didn't even add up all the All-Star appearances, but we can do that at the end.
They all are.
Yeah.
We're still adding as we keep going down the lineup here. So
that's right.
Fifth in the order, Max Muncy is 34 years old. He's going to play third base. A 3 WAR last year. on not his best year, only hit 232, but he still had a 358 on base, which is a huge jump. 120 points in walk contribution.
Yeah, he sees pitches.
Yeah.
852 OPS. So for anybody that's not looking at the screen, like I am, their first 5 guys, OPS, 1,036 from Ohtani, and then 863, 854, 840, 852.
That's not fair.
If you've had a reasonably good fantasy team, their OPS will end the season at about 830. I think I've won leagues with an 830 to 850 OPS.
And they're all
their first 5 guys all have that. They would positively contribute to that for a fantasy team.
That's just craziness.
Well, surely they'll start sucking at the next position.
I mean, is there a comp? Is there a comp? Like, I'm just trying to think. Can you guys think of a team that
27
had
Yankees?
5?
27 Yankees is my
That's about
first thought.
it, right?
Yeah.
My first thought, yes.
And I'm
sure
sure
the list.
The Brooklyn Dodgers back in the day had Jackie Robinson and just so many pitchers and hitters. I mean, we haven't even got to the pitchers. This is stupid. Just keep going down the lineup, Peru.
Yeah.
Tell us about the slug behind the plate.
Yeah, slug behind the plate is Will Smith, who is another 2-time All-Star. Hit 248 last year, which is not great. Still had a 327 on base. Still hit 20 home runs. 3.5 WAR. He's only 30, so he'll be around, another 5 years probably as a catcher.
Oh, he's so good.
He's very good. Interesting stat. This is, we're doing this recording after the 25 season has already started because of the Japan games. Will Smith is on pace for 405 walks this year.
That ain't bad.
He has 5 walks in his first 2 games.
Wow. That
So
Santana
that could be
emoji.
a new record.
That Santana emoji be getting tired.
7th in the lineup, Michael Conforto. He's an addition this year. Came over from the Giants. He's going to play left field. Only had a 1.3 WAR last year. Hit 237. Still hit 20 homers and 759 OPS.
Homers.
Yeah.
So your 7 guy hit 20.
Yes.
And he's also, I don't know, he's one of the Mets' best. He was the 3-hitter for the Mets.
Yeah.
So they took their 3-hitter and he's batting. We'll put you 6th, loser.
7th.
7th.
Yeah, we're going to put you in the 7 hole.
Right.
He's a left-handed batter. He may do some platooning with Kike Hernandez.
Yeah, Kike plays a lot.
Yeah, he does. And he's I think he's like a utility guy, right, where he can fit in a few different places.
Yeah.
So anyway, those two may platoon some, but Conforto should see the majority of the at-bats being a left-handed batter.
Yeah.
32 years old, and it's been around.
Imagine hitting 20 home runs and having to platoon.
That was my thought, too.
Right. Like most teams, they're like slotting him into 4.
Yeah.
They're like, yes, we got our cleanup hitter.
And you're at least our 5-hole guy.
Right.
No doubt. Yeah. 8th in the order is their second baseman, Tommy Edman, ex-Cardinal, and he's played somewhere else the last several years, right? I didn't list it on here.
Tommy
I thought it was
Edman.
just St. Louis.
Maybe he came over last year. I forget how he got.
He is like, one of these people is not like the other. 237.
237, 6 home runs, not 15 to 20.
All right.
He's like human.
He plays defense. He's a switch hitter.
And he was
He's
also
30.
the Cardinals' top of the order guy, hitting 1st or 2nd,
Yes.
and now he's 8th in this
I
lineup.
think he batted 2nd a lot for the Cardinals, but
And again, Donovan
Anyway.
and Edmund up top, but regardless, here he is now, and he was with the Cardinals all the rest of the time. That's what I thought. I just wanted to check.
Aha, Dodgers, you're not perfect. You
Right.
have Tommy Edman. And
Next year
this next guy,
they'll remedy that next year. They'll up the payroll, get another second baseman.
need to add Altuve or something to
Right.
add up there.
Make sure we get a good
30-plus-year-old
9-hitter.
Right. Exactly.
Speaking of 9 hitters, Andy Pages, 24-year-old center fielder, 1.3 WAR last year. He was another one that I overinflated the first 2 games over in Japan. He had 4 Ks in 2 games, so he's on pace for 324 strikeouts this year.
Yeah.
Slug.
Joey Gallo thinks he can get there.
Yeah.
Oh
Joey
yeah.
Gallo's like,
I got to try harder.
So
That's
he'll
good.
I will say
again.
this is
He's
the only guy I've never heard of. Andy Pages.
I think
Yeah.
he's last year was his rookie year.
yeah.
and
He's
he's-
only played 1 year.
Supposedly he's got upside of a 30-30 guy, supposedly, even though I only see 1 stolen base, so maybe not. Maybe it's just a 30 homers is what they were talking about.
Yeah.
But he's supposed to be pretty darn good. They're going to see if he won the job in center field outright. It looks like he did, because obviously that's where he started the first 2 games. But this guy, I think he's going to be pretty good, and he's our 9-hole guy.
Yeah.
He's got upside of 30 freaking home runs.
Not too shabby.
Yeah, at least they're old.
I don't think I said it, but 13 homers last year. But if I didn't remember that being only part of a season, but it may have been. So anyway, their one flaw that I noted in my notes here is that most of their lineup is 30 plus. So they are creeping up in age a little bit. That would explain the high salaries as well.
Yeah.
But these guys
Screw
are
you guys.
another like Philadelphia Phillies type team where they're in it to win it now before some of these guys start aging out and their productivity falls off. But they are certainly very capable with where they are this year.
They appear to be very productive still.
Only bench players to note, I mentioned Kike Hernandez, who will chip in some as kind of a utility guy. We'll do some platooning in left field. And then Miguel Rojas is filling in right now, or filled in for the first couple games. Mookie Betts was sick or something and didn't play in Japan. So they'll have him fill in, give guys days off and whatever.
Yeah,
he's been around a little bit.
They barely won those games, too. I mean, this moment they're 2-0 after thoroughly beating down the Cubs in Japan.
They did not need Betts for those 2 games, is what it boils down to.
And I want to tee off on that just 1 second. So for
Okay.
Major League Baseball,
Right.
what are you doing? Why are you starting a season in Japan 2 weeks ahead of time and counting them? Like, what are you doing?
Right.
Just do exhibition games. Like, I kind of feel bad for the Cubs. Like, hey, by the way, start your year halfway around the globe in Japan.
It's
Against
it's
the
so dumb.
team that's supposed to win 103 games.
Yeah.
Right.
And I get it. It's like, well, they had to show up too, and they had to travel too. I'm like, okay, half their team's from Japan, so they're kind of used to it. And
Right.
but not only that, why are you counting them? Just be exhibition
Right.
games. MLB is
Right.
stupid for that. It's not like football. Football going to
Yeah.
Mexico City or whatever. And they
Yeah.
don't do it for the stupid ass opener either, by the way.
No.
They don't start their
no.
season somewhere. You ruin
Right.
the
Mhm.
pageantry of opening day for both these clubs. Because
Yeah.
now it's like, well, our stateside opening day. Stateside opening day?
Right.
What the hell are you talking about? That is so stupid. So
It's
just wanna
America's
tee off a
game.
little on
Like
that.
America's game should be started in America.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
if you want to do a
what they did, just-
summer series out in
Yeah.
Japan, fine.
Exhibition. Just call it exhibition. Don't count them,
Yeah.
and then let everybody have a good time, have fun in Japan, see the sights, and don't make it a business trip. Just
Right.
make it for fun, and that would
Yeah.
probably be more fun for everybody involved. And it's not like
Absolutely.
people are tuning in at 5 a.m. to watch this stuff. Come
No.
on, man. No, I'm not.
that was.
I will not tune in
No.
at 5 a.m. It's
Nope.
just no.
I looked
I
at the box
agree.
scores, and that was about it. That was my only involvement.
All right, I'll get off my box now.
because you should be excited about opening day.
Yes.
It's like opening day, and there's still spring training games going on. People are still
There
making
is.
teams. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
It's
they
just
come back.
goofy.
We were talking to Tim Sheridan on the Cubs episode, and he was saying they come back and play more spring training games or
Yeah.
something.
They gotta get
Like,
back and
like
stretch
that's-
their starters out. I'm like, oh my
So
gosh,
odd.
it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That's dumb. It's
So
dumb.
anyway, rant over. Let's go
All right.
to the
Transition
worst part
to-
of the team. Their Japanese Cy Youngs.
yeah.
Starting pitching, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I think I said that
Good
right.
job.
I think you nailed it.
Age
Well
26.
done.
Got the opening day win over in Japan against the Cubs. He was a stud last year. He only pitched 90 innings and finished with a 7-2 record. So I think he kind of came up maybe mid-season and finished out the year. I should have looked at that more, but finished the year with a 3 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP, 10.5 Ks per 9, and a stellar 4.77 K to walk ratio.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we've talked on many episodes that 4 is like an elite ratio, and this guy's at almost nearly 5. So
yeah, it looked like he had a rotator cuff strain last year, so he missed a big chunk of the season in the middle.
Yeah, like I mentioned, 26 years old, so he's entering the prime of his career, and he's their ace, and had a relatively good start halfway around the world to start his season. So
yeah.
Number 2 in the order is Roki Sasaki, who is a brand new rookie from Japan. He was the number 1 overall prospect, and also started the second game for the Dodgers over in Japan. And I think he only pitched 3 innings or something, but had 3 or 4 strikeouts and not many base runners, whatever. So a good start for him as well. We'll see. He's only 23, but they're expecting big things from him. And obviously, with this kind of team that they've put together, and he's the number 2 starting pitcher, so they're high on what he can do this year.
They paid for it.
Have you heard anything about this guy?
Well, so he's got a ton of talent, and both those guys, Yamamoto and Sasaki, I believe and Ohtani, obviously, were on the Team Japan that beat Team USA in the World Baseball Classic a couple years back. And he's 23, right? So they're starting to let him come over earlier, which is good. This guy has got an injury history apparently in Japan, though. So he's not very often made it through seasons, but he's got a ton of talent. It sounds like his best season, though, he had 20 starts and 129 innings. That was back in 2022. So his average, though, is only 16 starts and 100 innings the last 2 seasons. He battled oblique and arm issues. So he's really good when he's healthy. But, man, why are you acting like a 44-year-old when you're 23? So I don't know.
Well, that could really, really hurt them because they don't have much depth in the rotation. So I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know what would happen if Sasaki went down. It would be over for them.
If only Ohtani was coming back.
Yeah, they might have to throw Ohtani just because.
So I guess you can just, I don't know, let's see if we can find another Cy Young guy. Anyone else out there?
So let's go with our number 3 starting pitcher. Third in the rotation is 2-time Cy Young Award winner, Blake Snell.
Yeah, let's slide him third.
Dumb. Just pissing me off.
Yeah, it's not even fun.
This was really shocking to me, is that Blake Snell. Well, okay, so it's shocking that he's the 3rd starter on this team. He's been a clear ace in the past. He's 32, so okay, maybe he's starting to decline a bit. Whatever, maybe not, but maybe that's their theory. Anyway, I thought it was shocking that this guy's won the Cy Young Award twice.
Yeah.
But he's only been an All-Star 1 time.
That is unbelievable.
Which I thought was really weird.
Yeah,
the other really
that's
cool
one of
stat,
those weird anomalies. That's one of those weird trivia questions.
So maybe he's had a crappy first half a lot in his career, and then just lit it up the second half or something, maybe, but that was really odd. The other thing I saw for Blake Snell, 11.2 Ks per 9 for his career, which is the all-time record.
What?
That is the best of any starting pitcher.
I would have lost a bet on that.
Oh,
for sure.
Real? Yeah, I would have. Damn, I don't know. There's a lot of people I would have gone with, like Randy Johnson.
Yeah, that's why I would have. Randy was the first guy that hit my mind. I was like,
on Baseball Reference or whatever, they had a highlighted gold number there, and that was. And the legend or whatever said this was like an all-time record.
I'm getting out to see this. This would be insane. So Hall of Famer Randy Johnson, 10.6. Yeah, well, there we go.
So 11.2, and Blake Snell's been around. He's age 32, so he's got 8 or 9 years of experience, I think, at least.
Wow. So
in the majors,
he has more Ks per 9 than the guy who had 300 strikeouts like 8 times.
Yeah.
You know who number 2 is? Number 2 is Chris Sale.
I was gonna say Chris Sale's got to be up there too. That dude's nasty.
Yeah.
All lefties. Yep. I mean, there we go.
Oh yeah. The first righty is Jacob DeGrom.
DeGrom, man, if he's best on the mound when he pitches.
Yeah.
And now he knows he's the best righty. Cool.
So
That's a fun stat.
So, yeah, I thought that was cool. to go along with your injury theme, Dex, Blake Snell only pitched 104 innings last year. So out of those top 3 starters, we got a guy with some injury history. Yamamoto had an injury last year, pitched 90 innings.
Yeah.
Blake Snell, 104 innings last year. The next guy on the list, Tyler Glasnow, only pitched 134 innings. So they do have some questions.
The only chance that the rest of the league has is that all their arms fall off at one time together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they have more than one guy go down, I mean, they're not super deep.
Well, maybe 2. Maybe they need 2 guys to go down. More than 2 guys to go down.
Maybe 3.
If they would still have 3 better starters than any other rotation if they had 2 guys go down. But
yeah, it's just dumb. Yeah,
their highest ERA in their starting 5 is 3.49.
Yes,
yeah, he's terrible. And Kershaw's not even in this rotation yet.
Nope.
Yeah, Blake Snell had 12.5 Ks per 9 last year, so it's not like he's falling off any either.
No, went up.
He's just.
I want to raise my major league average career high.
Gonna extend my lead. 4th in the rotation, Tyler Glasnow, age 31, 1.9 WAR guy last year, 11.3 Ks per 9 and 4.8 Ks per walk. So another stud pitcher. This is your 4th starter, guys, and he's tipping in 4.8 Ks per walk.
That is just stupid. I mean, at least he didn't go to the All-Star game last year.
Your top 4 starters, the highest whip is 1.11.
Yeah.
This Tyler Glasnow last year's whip was 0.95.
I didn't note it down, but yep, thanks for that.
So
that's pretty solid.
Yeah,
that contributes a lot. I mean, that's how you get those 4-to-1 or 5-to-1 K to walk ratios.
Yeah,
not walking people, right?
He's done it for the last 6 seasons. By the way, he's had his worst season for strikeout to walks is 4.14.
Wow,
that's his worst.
Yeah. That's a lot of consistent control, right?
Yeah.
Not walking people and consistently striking guys out.
Yeah, my goodness, this team's stupid.
And that's your 4th starter. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anybody know where Tyler Glasnow started? Because I totally have blanked this
Pittsburgh.
from my...
Is him and Garrett Cole were like both in the rotation, and then they got and then he went to Tampa Bay, I believe.
Yeah, that's where I remember him. I totally forgot him. I didn't remember him with Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh, his best year was like 4.24 ERA, and 7. Well, I only started 4 games that year. His first full season, he had a 7.69 ERA with Pittsburgh.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I mean,
clearly
I guess
he's figured
some
things
stuff out.
Yeah, looks like he's figured some stuff out because again, since 2019, he's had a 1.78 ERA, a 2.66 ERA, 1.35. And then he's just been atrocious lately, 3.53 and a 3.49 ERA.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you're a 4th starter, boy.
Right.
Back of the rotation. I don't even want your nonsense up here.
You bring your A game, you might get into the top 3.
Oh, my gosh, they're just stupid. All right, let's go to their trash bag of a 5th.
Yeah, another injury risk as their 5th starter, Dustin May. He's age 27, so this should be the prime of his career. And I listed his stats, his career stats there in red. In 5 years, he's had 191 innings pitched.
Yeah.
So that's not good.
Very many.
No.
And decent, I mean, career of 3.3 WAR guy, but over 5 years, that's really not contributing much per year, which is because he's not on the mound very much per year. So
he's hurt every year. Like,
stay away from that dude if you're a fantasy manager.
Yeah.
24 elbow, 23 forearm, 22 back, 22 elbow, 21 elbow, 20 foot. Like he's Mr. DL.
Man.
Yep.
Tommy John surgery, flexor tendon and UCL revision surgery.
Ooh.
Then apparently he ate something weird and got an esophageal tear. He suffered while eating dinner. He can't even eat right.
Shoot.
Man.
Like Come
Wow.
on.
This is
Yeah,
crazy.
walking injury, walking insurance claim.
Yeah, the funny thing is, by the way, do you know what he got the injury eating?
No.
This fun fact. Salad.
Man, I'm not going to laugh at him too much because I snapped my tooth on a lettuce wrap, and then I also snapped it eating chicken noodle soup.
Salad, dude.
Dustin, I got you, man. I see how
I
weird
mean,
things
like-
can happen.
Bit into a
How in
carrot
the
or something, and
world? No, it
it-
says he was eating salad at the Dodgers training facility in Arizona when he felt some lettuce get stuck in his throat. So he did what any veteran salad eater would do: took a big gulp of water to clear things out. Unfortunately, it turned out he suffered a serious tear in his esophagus.
no way.
That would suck. I mean, all steaks from here on.
If
The
you have a
South
career
have-
of full of injuries, I guess what's one more to add to your
Right?
list?
Will the salad have shards of glass in it? I mean,
I
what in
don't know.
the world?
Dodgers facility, who knows what they're feeding these guys?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So those are the top five. Clayton Kershaw, as you noted earlier, Dex, not in the rotation.
Yeah.
He had knee and toe surgery in November. So they said he's out at least until June. They put him on the 60-day injury list like last week sometime.
Yeah.
Nor is Shohei Ohtani in the starting five.
Yes.
I know. That's the thing. They just keep getting. And I would say, well, Otani's been not Ohtani. He's been awesome. He hasn't been a pitch, but Clayton Kershaw last year was his first kind of weird year, but he only started 7 games. In
Right.
2022 and 2023, he went a combined 25-8.
Right.
Yeah.
And the highest ERA was 2.46 in those
Right.
2 seasons. So
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, he's coming back, and you're like, oh, he doesn't have much left in the tank. Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think in
I
a
mean,
6-man rotation, and he's going to be spot starting in the summertime. That's not a bad guy to have. Let's see here.
Well, they,
One,
yeah, I mean, you
2,
could,
3 Cy Youngs. I'm not even going to count the All-Star games for him. I mean, he's all
How many
famous.
teams would he instantly be the ace for?
Yes,
He's a,
just show
he's a
up.
6 starter.
Maybe he might be 7th if an Ohtani comes in.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So that's just ridiculous. That's who's
So-
coming in later this year.
Right.
they'll find 5 dudes to continue to start games is the point, and
Yeah.
and they will all contribute. All are very capable. So
Oh my goodness gracious!
anyway, that's the all-star pitching lineup. In the pen, Tanner Scott, who came over from the Padres at the end of the year. They rented him for half a season, so he pitched for both the Marlins and the Padres last year.
Yeah,
Signed with the Dodgers in the offseason. 30 years old, saved 22 games last year, and has ridiculously good numbers. 1.75 ERA, over 72 innings, 10.5 Ks per 9, a surprisingly low K to walk ratio, so 2.33.
He's walking some dudes.
Yeah, he must be walking a lot and not giving up hits because
Yeah, I
his whip
think-
is still
yeah.
very good.
mm-hmm.
But anyway, gives up some walks, but also strikes out a ton. So contributed a 4 WAR last year.
Wow.
So that's who you got closing. If he has any troubles, they acquired Kirby Yates, a free agent from the Rangers in the offseason.
Yes. Who's a
Kirby
stud?
is 38, but he had 33 saves last year
That's what I was
and
like.
a ridiculous 12.4 Ks per 9. He's also been on the Cy Young ballot a couple times and been an All-Star twice. So, I mean, that's your
Yeah.
setup guy, is a guy that had 33 saves last year and a microscopic ERA and whip.
It's just
And then
not fair.
the other setup guy I was going to note is Blake Trinan, age 36. So they do have some age in their pen.
I mean, the only thing that they have, this is not even an Achilles really, but the only thing they have is they're old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, relatively speaking,
Older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not like they're all 38, but like their starting lineup is probably averaging 33, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Their starting rotation is probably late 20s.
Yeah, I mean, 32 is their oldest starter, other than Kershaw.
Oh, God, never mind.
So
Yeah.
I was trying to find.
I know.
a
I looked for the
weakness.
chink in the armor, and I'm like, maybe some injury problems for the starting pitchers, but you got so many
That's
of them
it.
that
That's the only potential chink in the armor.
Yeah, it's just not real fair.
Hey, but they lost Jason Hayward, so how are they going to
Yep.
replace that?
Yeah, so they did lose Walker Buehler and Jack Flaherty, so they had to bring in some new arms, which they did, and they brought in even better arms probably, but they did lose a couple starters, and yeah, it's a ridiculously good team.
Yeah, but what about their minor leagues? But they don't got anything in the minors. Ha ha.
Well, they don't need anything in the minors. Nobody's going to come up and play unless they have major injury problems.
Well, one of the guys that does have a good chance, Dalton Rushing, so he will be playing this year quite a bit. So he's 24, left-handed bat. He's a catching prospect, so he'd be filling time and splitting time with Will Smith, but Will Smith's so damn good, he hardly ever comes out. And then
Right.
I don't know if they'd really want to do that with the staff. I mean, it's hard to put a rookie to then call for a bunch of 30-year-olds. And so he also can play outfield. And so the whole thing is with him, he's going to get some playing time. And Dalton Rushing, he's just, of course he's good. Why wouldn't he be? So I think he is, what is he overall? He's the number one catching prospect. I was just seeing what he was on the overall list. And let me see, I think he was 20th or something stupid. So yeah, that's fun. So it's because they need more, right? So he's 30th overall. He's 30th prospect overall out of the top 100. He's just sitting there because there's no room, because we went through the lineup and there's no room for you, buddy. So
you said he's a left-handed bat.
Yeah. So
yeah, so
left-handed bat.
He could fill in on specific days for Will Smith every once in a while. Give him a break against a small
last year
pitcher.
He's tootling around in the minors, right? Like, oh, he's doing nothing except doing a 271, 384 on base, 896 OPS, knocking out 26 dingers and 85 RBIs in the minors, and he walked 64 times. So that dude doesn't even have a place to play. So we talk about, let's find, they're kind of old, except for their 24-year-old. He doesn't have room to play. And it's just,
they don't even need him for balance because their starting lineup goes left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And a switcher.
Because,
it's like you constructed a team with, like, it's like they were like, hey, ChatGPT, construct a team with 0 holes in it for me.
And make sure they're all MVP caliber up top.
Let's cap it at $400 million for the payroll.
Yeah, $400 million.
That ought to do it.
And find me a loophole so I can pay one guy way out into the future.
River Ryan. Is there any relation there?
To who?
The Nolan Express?
His great uncle Nolan? I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense. No way. But it probably absolutely is. Let me just do a quick little check. It takes 2 seconds.
Surely it's not his grandson or something, is it?
I think, let's see here.
He's the right age.
I know. That's why I was wondering. I'm like, he's a pitcher, a righty. God, that would be just perfect.
So the issue is that he had Tommy John surgery in August of last year.
Oh, he did. Okay, so he's out this year.
I did know. I put him down as a prospect. They're pretty high on him. He actually did come up for a short stint with the Dodgers last fall, but he hurt himself, or I guess last summer.
I don't know if he'll be very good. He only throws 100, and apparently has a 12-6 breaking ball that makes everybody miss. So fortunately, they don't have any pitchers coming.
And your name is River Ryan. Like, that is just a badass name for a pitcher. By the way.
It really is.
So, I mean, and he has to throw 100.
Yeah. His upside apparently is only of a number 2 or number 3. So he's not even an ace.
Wait, question.
What a waste
number
of
2
time.
or number 2
or
or number 3
in
a normal
Dodgers.
rotation. I would assume that's in the normal, but
So he'd immediately be the ace for the Marlins. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dumb.
About 500 teams.
Right.
Yeah. And then they also have another. So a guy I've got on my dynasty team in the minor leagues right now is Jose DePaula. So 19 years old, left-hander. This dude is stupid. So on the 20 to 80 range for the tools, he has a 60 hit tool and power tool. They expect him to regularly be getting all-star appearances when he finally gets up. And the thing is, he's been below age at every level. He's already played like a couple different seasons. He's only 19. He's going to be up to double A this year.
I did see him on the list, but they said no major league time, and we'll talk about him in future years.
Yeah, so he works out with Ellie De La Cruz and Juan Soto in the offseason, so I'm sure he's not learning anything from those guys.
No.
Minimum of 30 homer power, and he could be, of course, if he's not going to be like Ellie De La Cruz and Juan Soto, he might become a slightly smaller version of Yordan Alvarez.
Oh.
So that guy sucks.
Yeah, we've also talked about him in previous episodes.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm just glad they have nothing in the pipeline, too.
Yeah.
Because you certainly want to be able to trade any of those guys to get some trade chips at the deadline.
I really hate to be a Dodger fan these days, man. That
miserable.
Would be,
in the abyss.
I would hate to pay the prices for a ticket because I can't believe.
Yeah.
I mean, so Ohtani, we talked about his ridiculous contract. They have Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, and Blake Snell.
Yamamoto and Sasaki and Snell are also on not cheap deals.
Yeah, and Glasnow is $30 million for the next 3 years. So those 5 dudes are making half of their total payroll, something like that.
That's a good group of players to be making half, though.
Yeah, but they're locked in for like at least the next 3 years, and Ohtani's is like the next 7 years or something, all the way through 2033, $70 million a year for him.
Yeah, I feel like unlike our Padres episode, which you probably heard came out recently, those guys are also contract strapped, but are not seemingly in the same position as these Dodgers are.
No.
Where you just have no holes, really. I mean, we tried to find some, but even those guys would start on every other team, too. Like I said, Conforto, Edman, those guys were in the top third of the lineup for the teams they came from. And they're the bottom third here.
Now they're just tacked on the end just because we got to have 9 guys.
Exactly. It's just
speaking of ticket prices, Prue, I just did a little cursory search. I was like, let me see how cheap I could get into a Dodgers game. And I was like, the Rockies. That would be the least desirable series I could think of.
the
Rockies and the cheapest ticket available for the Rocky series is $70. So that is
for the outfield GA.
For a
pretty pricey for that
single baseball game, I would say.
Yeah, family of 4 though. Let's go do it. Let's go spin a quick G-ball on parking, tickets, hot dogs, and a beer or 2. Well,
probably a $25 beer.
So
now the big question, Prue.
Yeah, let's do it. 104.5. Can they get to 105?
I'm gonna say they cannot get there.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be. I think they've got some injury risk for their pitching. I know they have a lot of depth there, but I don't know. I mean, 105 wins is a lot.
It is a lot.
They had a 50-50 year from Ohtani last year and managed 98 wins.
Yeah.
I don't know that they can get. I don't know that they can get 7 more.
50 year.
Right? Just a crazy good year from your MVP of the league, and you got 98 wins, which is still a ton, but it's not 105. 7 more wins is going to be difficult. So I'm going to say they fall a little short. I'm going to say right at 100 wins, let's say.
Yeah, I think I'm with you, Prue, and it's kind of the things we talked about earlier. I mean, the top 3 dudes in the rotation, all of them. I mean, now I'm thinking about all of them. Like, if they get 120 innings, it would be like, wow. I mean, let's go, boys. 120.
Right.
Whereas the rest of the leagues, like, well, they don't have the depth of this, obviously, but I mean, 120, man, you need more than that. We've been talking about, like, for the Mariners, those guys are all cranking 180 plus. I don't see any of these guys getting 180.
Right.
But these other teams also don't have Cy Young winner Ohtani coming back. Oh, multiple Cy Young winner Kershaw coming just to join them in the summertime. So
Right.
that's also kind of dumb that they have that much depth. That's their 6th and 7th guys right now.
Right.
And like we already talked about, River Ryan, that dude could play. And you don't think they could trade some of these guys and get whoever the hell they want at the trade deadline? So
Right.
I'm still with the under. It's just a ton of games. 105 stupid. Could I see him getting the record this year? I could. I mean, if all those guys do get 120 to 140 innings, good God. I mean, that's insane. And you know the lineup's going to produce. They're going to outscore.
Right.
And the only team in their division, well, 2, but they got the Diamondbacks and the Padres are the only ones even going to give them a fight. And they're going to get beat up. And if they even get to 90 wins, that'll be amazing. We talked about both of them. I think both of them could get there. But if they get to 90, that is 14 less than what they project the over-under for the Dodgers. Like, if you get there, you're 14 games behind. That's just unbelievable to me. They have so much wiggle room for error. They can have so many things go wrong. If everything goes wrong, they're still going to win 90 games. If everything goes wrong.
And still win the division
or
fairly
you'll make
easily.
the playoffs. I don't think they have any way of not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is hard to say from Major League Baseball and parity that generally there is.
Right.
There's no way they can't make it.
On day one, you already know they're going to be in the playoffs somehow.
Yes. It's just where and what seed. So that's kind of incredible. But I'm going to do the under as well. I think they get, even 102. I mean, that's pretty darn good. 102 and 60 is a pretty good season. 42 games over 500. But
that's right.
Chisholm, what do you think? Are they going to break the records? You saying whatever? Let's go 105 plus.
Baseball is weird. And so, because baseball is weird and, like, they're so stacked and you're like, oh, they should win every game, just doesn't tend to happen that way in baseball.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if they don't win the World Series. I will be.
Yeah.
Because when you get them in a short series,
incredible.
Holy crap. Like, you could have Ohtani coming in out of the bullpen,
Right.
So, like...
You know that 3 of these guys are going to be healthy during the playoffs.
Right.
And that's all you really need at that point.
It is.
So, like, I will not bet against them in the playoffs, but there's a couple things that I think of. One, just baseball, but 2, like, complacency sets in. Like, I mean, these guys are human, and at the end of the day, you're, like, kicking the crap out of everybody, and you can flip the switch whenever you want. There's going to be some games they mail it in, I feel like, where it's just like, we're just better than everybody else, and the other team's all fired up. Like, I mean, they are going to get everybody's best shot, right? Because they are the Dodgers, and everyone's going to say, man, it'd be awesome we could beat the Dodgers. But, they're not going to be able to give their best every game. So I don't think 105 it's not a bet I'm making.
I think, do you think there's anything to the pride thing? Like, they can do something. Remember the last back-to-back champion?
Yeah.
I mean, and they went to the World Series 3 out of 4 years between 2016 or 17 and 20, whatever the heck it was. They lost them all. Yeah. So the first one they actually won out of that group of being just dominant was the 2020 shortened year, which is kind of asterisk, right? I mean, they won in front of nobody, and it was like, that's cool. But then they finally went and won last year.
I was there. I was at that World Series, by the way.
Were you? Just you?
Yeah,
I'm just
I was. It was here in Texas. Remember, they hosted all
that's right.
the games in Texas. It was a new stadium, and so I got to go to a couple World Series games here because there was no one there.
So I think for the dynasty aspect of it, we might get their best effort. In the age thing that we've already talked about, we might get all their best efforts the entire season. They might say, we have the best team ever assembled. I think we can win 120. Come with me. I don't know.
I think there's a pride thing there. I don't think there is. The thing they have going for them is they don't have a ton of egos. I don't see any prima donnas on this team.
No.
So, like,
at all.
This is not like the Barry Bonds where he's like, whatever, just pay me.
Yeah.
Betts wants to win. Ohtani wants to win. Freeman wants to win. Like,
they want rings.
These guys are not just in it for the money. So, they could do it. It's just, God, 105 is just ridiculous. I mean,
I just wanted to throw it out there. I wanted to see if that would sway it all.
It's a really high bar. Like, Vegas thinks a lot of this team for sure, and we do too. Just
Yeah.
reading through them, on paper they look like they could win 105 easy, but like you said, Chiz, it's baseball and things happen, and it's a long season, and one or two of these guys goes down or start out slow and finish April at 500 or something. I don't know. It just things happen.
All right. Well, this has been fun. Thank you very much, Prue, for running us through the Dodgers. I think this is the team to beat. Oh, weird. That's a shrewd take, Dex. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because this lineup is stupid. This pitching staff is deep.
Right.
They have Japanese Cy Young guys, the American Cy Young guys. They have top draft picks. There's farm systems stocked. They got left, right, left, right, left, right. They have like multiple MVP trophies in their lineup. Yeah, they're going to win. They're going to win a crap load of games. And we have them at like over 100. It's just 105, maybe not. But this team's going to be super fun to watch just to see, can they do history? Can they make it happen? Can they do back-to-back for the first time since, 30 years? That'd be kind of fun to see just in a weird way. I mean, I don't want that. I want the Royals to win. But, hey, somebody else or the Twins, I'm not that picky. But just not the Dodgers. So that'd be kind of fun to see someone else get there. I think this seems to be exciting to watch, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. So they're already 2-0. I mean,
they're on pace to win all 162 games. So.
They only need 103 more. They're already there.
They got it.
So they're like, thanks.
Might have that wrapped up by August.
Although we do know we're clear that those games shouldn't count. So in my mind, they haven't won.
That's right.
That doesn't count.
They got to win 107 for me to care.
That's right.
Then I can toss those first two out. But all right, well, if you've been enjoying our baseball previews, please like, follow, subscribe. We got a few more left, and then we're going to be kind of kicking into some NFL football draft coming up next month, and we'll kind of talk about baseball all the time. We'll kind of break them up, but we're going to get and kind of start eyeballing towards the future, getting the eyeballing towards guillotine. But
totally,
like, follow, subscribe, follow us on all the platforms:
Insta, YouTube, X. Follow us on all of them.
We're
Insta,
everywhere.
YouTube, X, TikTok. We're everywhere.
Tell your friends.
That's right.
Join the Patreon.
Join the Patreon.
Join the Patreon. All right. Sounds good. Well, till next time, stay shrewd.